Hello everyone, welcome to Urbanscape Bangalore, and in today's episode we will be continuing our focus on some really awesome summer blooming plants, and as you would have already guessed, we will be looking at the undeniable king of fragrance and romance, the jasmine. There are innumerable varieties of jasmine flowers, and these, believe it or not, belong to the olive family. The jasmine can be deciduous, which means that their leaves fall during the autumn, or evergreen varieties that stay green throughout the year in tropical climates. This is not a very frost friendly plant and loves a lot of heat and humidity. They can be shrubby with erect stems, or they can be climbing vines as well. These are predominantly summer blooming plants with flowerings starting from early spring till the onset of rains. Constant rains can make the flowers go squishy. So these are some of the varieties that grow in my garden. This is the Grand Duke variety, which is also called the Jasmine sambac, and it is known for its huge fragrant blooms. Then these are the Mysuru Malige varieties, or called Mogra elsewhere. And then we have the Indian Juhi jasmine, or in Hindi it is just called the Juhi. The plant is mainly native to Southeast Asia and other Asiatic regions, and specifically native to India as well, with the Mysuru Malige, Udupi Malige becoming a famous export from the state of Karnataka. These are majorly grown for their hypnotic fragrance that enchanted many a Maharajas and other royal members of the erstwhile Mysore royal family. Almost every backyard or garden of an Indian household will have at least one jasmine plant, because they believe that the smell of the flowers actually helps stimulate good vibes and prosperity, thereby even finding its pride of place in temples and even mosques. The Mughals also were not spared by the fragrance of this enchantress of the garden, as I would like to call it. No Mughal garden was complete without the jasmine adorning it. The jasmine also is used as a hair ornament during weddings or other special occasions. For this very purpose, both the buds and the blooms are used in it. In China and Japan, the jasmine is used to make tea. This is also predominantly used in the perfumery industry. However, I am not a very huge fan of this jasmine perfumery, because they are found in high concentration in this form and gives me an instant migraine. The jasmine is rich in a particular plant hormone called the jasmonate, which has a key role in response to some environmental stimulus like heat or cold stress, and sends important life signals to the plant cells, which in turn help in the growth of the plant. With that little bit of history, culture, and science associated with the plant, let us now move on to the basics of taking care and propagating this beautiful, unassuming plant. So the basic needs are, as always, sunlight, water, and fertilizing. So sunlight requirements, as most of you would already know, is that this likes full sun to semi-shade conditions. So if you probably live in regions where the summers are too intense, then giving it some shade is advisable. Otherwise, the flowers tend to become brown very soon because of intense heat. At the same time, complete shade would not give you any blooms. So a balanced location where it gets filtered sunlight outdoors would be ideal. Watering must be done consistently during the summer months, and you could reduce watering during the colder winter months. Fertilizing. This plant is a very resilient plant. It needs not much fertilizing. It gives out flowers nevertheless. However, I would suggest that you use rich organic matter like vegetable waste and compost once every 2 months to get more strong blooms. Now about pests, I don't see so much of a problem with pests. However, it can be attacked by the normal garden pests like aphids, mealybugs, and the rest. So neem oil pesticide can do the trick and get rid of these pests. Now the propagation of this plant can be easily done with the help of stem cuttings. So I have taken this Juhi jasmine cutting. Make sure you get the not too young and not too old stem cutting for this purpose. Now remove some of the lower leaves and give it a slight scratch at these exposed nodes. So today I'll tell you why you need to scratch or make a wound on these stems before putting it in a well-draining potting medium. The scratching will expose the cambium layer of the stem where the undifferentiated cells grow into roots. You can also cut off the growing tip of this stem cutting as well. Water this and place it in a semi-shaded location. In 3 or 4 weeks, you will find new roots in this cutting and leave it for more than 2 months and you will get much more stronger roots and then you can retransplant it. So this plant that you see here was actually grown from a cutting from this mother plant. Now it has grown too big for this plastic container and one by one I'm eliminating plastic containers in my garden to keep my garden more eco-friendly. Now we will have a look at the extensive root system of this plant and you can see how pot bound this has become. But I must tell you that the jasmine grown in pots don't mind being pot bound. Now to transplant the jasmine into a concrete container, I will be using this medium-sized container with a drainage hole at the bottom. Remember, drainage is super duper important to grow this plant well. So as always, I will be using these drainage materials at the bottom and for the potting mix, I will be using 40% compost, 30% sand and 30% soil. You can substitute the soil with coco peat if you want. Now I will be giving this root a trim. So this plant, unlike other plants, can take a lot of abuse. So do not worry while doing this to your jasmine because this isn't an exotic plant to India. It is a native of this region, so go ahead with your pruning but be gentle. Now once the trimming of the roots is done, we add the plant in the container and seal the deal by backfilling with more potting mix. Now add water till you see it coming out of the drainage hole and keep it in a sunny location. Remember, do all these things only during the evening to reduce plant stress. Mulch it with compost and you can enjoy the fragrance of the jasmine the whole day and night. Did you know the dewy variety especially spreads its fragrance even more during the night when the silvery white of the moonlight complements the intoxicating aroma of the ethereal white jasmine which espouses romance and love. With this, we have come to the end of yet another episode of Urbanscape Bangalore. And if you liked this video, then please like, share and subscribe. Also follow me on Instagram and Facebook for quick updates. The links will be given below. Thank you for watching and until we meet again, goodbye.